Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? My name is Mari Cruz. I'm an engineer, entrepreneur, and environmentalist. And in this channel, I show you how to start and grow a sustainable small business, even if you're working full time. But in this video, we're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and I just wanna unpack it with you. Hola, bienvenidos to the very first episode of Chisme Time. In this series, I'm going to talk about everything and anything that I think needs to be talked about or that's been on my mind. It's a lot more cozy than my other videos. As you can tell, I have my cafecito here and we're just going to chat. So go ahead and pause the video, go get yourself a warm beverage, and let's get right into it. So like you saw in the title, I want to talk about entrepreneurship as a woman of color. So I want to start off by first defining what these words mean. Okay, first up, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means the activity of setting up a business or businesses, risking financial assets in hopes for profit. Women of color, sometimes abbreviated as WOC, means any woman that does not identify as white. So why am I deciding to make this video? Well, entrepreneurship as a woman of color has been on my mind lately because I've been asked a lot, how do I do it? I got a lot going on. I finished my PhD 6 months ago. At the time I was running 3 businesses. Now it's only 2, but I'm still working full-time as an engineer. I do a lot of volunteer work. You know, I like to think I still kind of balance my family and friends time and my social life. So I get that question a lot. How do you do it? Like, how do you juggle everything at once? My answer is usually one of 3 things. My first one is usually, well, because I'm Mexican, not Mexicant. That's one of them. My other answer is usually that I have a lot of energy. If anyone's into human design, I am a manifesting generator, which is basically the type of person that just can go, 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 and has like unlimited energy. That's me. And the third reason I usually give is that I'm just a chingona, you know? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm just chingona like that. Speaking of chingonas, my sister Cristina is also a doctor, and during her dissertation, she coined this term, chingonanes, right? So, like your level of chingona, right? And it got me really thinking, like, when does this term or like your level of chingonanes empowering, and then when does it become a little toxic? Because I take a lot of pride of being a chingona, and like just in general in my community, it's like, woo, like get chingona, you know, like keep doing what you're doing because like you're killing it in life. But then there's also this pressure, I think, of being chingona that can become a lot of stress and a lot of unneeded pressure in your life. Maybe you felt it before too. In general, as a woman of color, we're like really tempted to be like this super powerful superwoman that can do it all, which can be exhausting, I think. So it's interesting to talk about or to think about, where are we on that balance, right? Food for thought. Nice. And particularly as women of color, I think it's in our blood to be entrepreneurs. So in general, I think it's pretty fitting, that stereotype of being a superwoman or a chingona. This is real time, just my brain thinking about these things. Another reason I think that entrepreneurship is a really good outlet for women of color is because usually like the systems that are in place already for us to make money in this society are not built for us, right? So like the corporate world was not built for women of color. Academia was not built for women of color. So it's really like, where do you go to make money, if like all of these systems are constantly working against you, right? So I think entrepreneurship could be a really good outlet for us to be financially independent while not giving into like these oppressive systems of corporate America or like of academia. Now that might be a little scandy. I'm just trying to get some brains turning. I'm just trying to get some thoughts brewing. That's a good word. You know, and I've been in corporate America, I've been in academia, and then obviously I'm an entrepreneur as well. And I feel like the place where I've felt most comfortable is in entrepreneurship. I don't know if y'all have heard of the impostor syndrome. Basically, it's a feeling of not being in the right place or like being an imposter in some places. It's super common in women in STEM, and it's super common in just in general in corporate, to feel like you're not supposed to be there and that somebody's gonna catch you, that you got the opportunity just by chance, or like you got the job because of XYZ, not because of your capabilities. So then you constantly feel like they're gonna find out that they weren't supposed to give you the job or something. Most of the time this happens because there's no representation in whatever position or field that you're in. If you have had experiences in like multiple of these areas, like corporate entrepreneurship or academia, I'm like curious to hear from you if you feel like the imposter syndrome was more present in any of those. That would be a super interesting conversation to have in the comments. I think like in levels, I would say the highest imposter syndrome was academia, then corporate, and then the least amount of imposter that I've felt is in entrepreneurship. Not sure why. Maybe some of the reasons that I've already talked about, like it's in our blood, or like we're just really good at it as women of color. But I think it also has to do with the environment. I've personally have been seeing a lot more representation when it comes to entrepreneurs that look like me, that are women of color, that are Latinas, that are doing the damn thing, you know? But yeah, that's probably it. That's probably why. I just solved it. That is not to say, however, that there are a lot of challenges in being a woman entrepreneur, and especially a woman of color. I've talked about this a lot with my fellow entrepreneurs, with my clients, of how like just for being a woman of color, and I think this is more for being like a person of color, not so much just women, but there's a lot of issues with underpayment, or like people thinking we're overpriced even though we're just in the same price as the market, but because we are people of color, they think we should be cheaper for some reason. There's a lot of issues with that. There's a lot of issues with people not thinking you're the owner or the founder of your companies, like expecting a white man or a white woman to be the founders of, you know, successful companies. There's a lot in there, but I still think entrepreneurship has been kind of like where I felt the safest, if that makes sense. So all that to say, I think we should all go for it. I think if you're a woman of color and if you've been thinking about starting a business, I think there's a lot of support out there. I think you can find your community and find a safe place to start your business. I think it's a great... I'll wait for the airplane. That's really what I'm trying to do here, right? With this channel, it's like I've been through the ups and downs, many ups and downs, and I just want to share some of that wisdom, some of the things that I've learned, some of the things that I don't think you should do, some of the things I think you should do if you're gonna be running a small business. So yeah, I'm excited. I think this conversation turned out to be a lot more positive than I had expected. I don't know. I hope you feel inspired. Let me know in the comments, like I said, if you've ever felt like the imposter in any of these environments, we could call them. And also let me know if you are thinking of starting a business. That is super exciting. I'm really excited for you. Anywho, my cafecito is cold. I just realized my cat has been here the whole time. Eerie? Oh wow. You're so cute. I'll leave you with that. And until next time, don't forget, Poquito goes a long way. Bye.